What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Achievement Hunting 101 podcast. You have made it to level 7. I'm your host, Kenny, and thank you for listening. We have a great show for you tonight. We are going to talk some true achievement contests, mention some games that are good for possibly preloading for that. Our IKEA expert will come in for a quickie later on. Elle will say some shit that we're going to ignore. And our resident Tennessee and Hick, Elroy OMG, we'll talk about his life on a farm and raising cattle. But before we get to all of that, let me introduce my co-hosts. First up, we have the guy who is most excited about today's holiday, Corey, the Rawker Dude 5012. How's it going?
Hello, hello. Go, go, Power Rangers.
Next, we have the man with the interrupting dogs, Ryan the Mighty Mango. How's it doing?
I am minus one of those interrupting dogs, so he can kiss my ass.
And lastly, we have the guy who says Final Fantasy VII is the best JRPG of all time. Seriously, he did say that. It's in Discord. L, the big L. How you doing?
Fuck Cloud.
Why did we tell him about that button?
He's going to use that all.
What button?
All right. Well, in that case, since you're so eager to use your echo button, why don't you go ahead and do the proclamation points for this week?
Proclamation!
Carnage hit a 17,500 achievement streak. Yay, Carnage.
Woohoo!
He's also been on the show and been a help promoting. Exe the Hero is now in the top 200 on the USTA leaderboard.
Woohoo!
Okay, I don't know this guy's name. Who is this guy? Moosh.
Moostic?
Hit 500,000 gamer score, supposedly. Winky wink.
Nice.
Freemhole has hit a new milestone, 230,000 gamer score. So if Freem decides to listen to us, congratulations, Freem.
Yay.
And then What the Fug is currently on a 1-year achievement win streak.
Oh, guess what? What the Fug is currently on a 1-year achievement win streak.
Breaking news, guys. What the fuck? Hit one.
That's
year
Hey, did you guys hear?
streak.
Fug is on a 1-year achievement streak.
Is Fug on a 1-year achievement streak?
I don't know, man.
I didn't see it on
I don't
TA.
know.
And what else we got? We got Rawker hit 150,000 gamer score. Our own Corey.
Corey did it.
Congratulations, Corey.
Yay, Corey.
And
Yeah,
that
like 20
Tell
minutes.
us
is
all
this
about
week.
it.
Yeah, actually, go ahead and tell us.
I unlocked an achievement.
Nothing special.
Yeah, it didn't really mean much. I was in party with Matriarch and just noticed I was 10 points away. So looked quickly for some 10-pointers, and I saw an easy one from Death Squared called "Does This Make My Bot Look Big?"
So you hit it right on the nose.
There you go.
The nose.
You just did something
Yes,
that'll
sir.
take
Yes, sir.
Fufu another year or two to hit. Well, that is this week's proclamation point. Back to you.
We're going to go on to our community questions. First one comes from Beer Me 7, and it's quite a long one. He asks and says, I got a question for the podcast. So here is the longest sentence with the best grammar you've ever seen. So after 112 hours, 70 if you because he let the game idle, I'm left with one achievement that will take a while to grind out. But I'm kind of tired of the game and don't feel like doing it. So my question is, what are 3 games you're almost 100% in, but you quit grinding out for the last couple of achievements? His 3 games are Tom Clancy's Wildlands, Cabela's Big Game Hunting, and Neverwinter, in which he's at 98% and played for 1,680 hours.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ooh.
That is a crazy amount of time in that game. Elle, what are your 3 games?
Well, I didn't really stick with 3, but I had some notable mentions. One that I stopped for grinding purposes was Undertow, which was a lovely gift probably about 10 years ago at this point. It's a Xbox Live Arcade game, and when you complete all the other achievements, you wind up with about 1,000 kills. But there's another achievement for 10,000 kills. Very unnecessary, so I never bothered to go for it.
Good plan.
Yeah. Both Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy have a very similar achievement list. I have 3 achievements left in both, and they are basically the same to win 50 games, which in turn will unlock all the props and clothes and sets and all that. So I haven't bothered to do that. And a skill-related one, or time-related, in Halo Reach, Halo 4, and Halo 5, I have not bothered to go for the solo legendary runs. So, phooey on me, right, Foof?
Ryan, what are yours?
Gears 2, I need to get the 100,000 kill achievement in that one. Is that Seriously 2.0? Yeah.
Yes.
Cliffy B can lick my nuts. Full auto, you'd be like, full auto is not a grindy game. Well, I lost my save, so I'd have to start all the way over again, and I hate the game so much, I'm not going to do it. Tony Hawk American Wasteland, all the gaps that you have to get in that game. Nope, not going to do it. Done. I gave up on that a long time ago. And then I'll give this a little credit to Crandy, Graw, because I played a lot of Graw and never went and did all the leaderboard stuff, and I'm not going to, because that is a complete and utter waste of time.
It's only 100 hours. Go for it.
Nope, not going to do
You're
it.
missing a 0.
Just because I have 8 copies of the game and enough systems to do it does not mean I'm going to do it.
You don't have a Hori pad for Seriously 2.0? You never tried that?
I
rubber
do
band
have
trick?
it, and I just haven't been too lazy to do it.
You know what's funny? I also have American Wasteland on my list. The same exact thing. I think I have 49 to 50 and don't have the gaps. And what's funny is if you look on YouTube, it's all primitive videos from over 10 years ago, because the game was also on PlayStation 2, I believe. So
Yep.
Yes.
back when the videos could only go 10 minutes. Remember that?
Yep.
So there's some really
Forgot
bad
about
quality
that, yeah.
videos, but they're out there if you want to find all the gaps.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
I'm with you.
For me, the big grind that I've stopped playing is Titanfall, and most of that's just due to laziness. I just have a couple of matches I need to win, but just don't want to. Playing it so much. And in the other 2 games, they're not as much of grindy achievements, but it's more of just a collectible fest, and I just, once again, just don't want to do it, especially since they're just older games, but it's Assassin's Creed 1 and 2. You know, get all the flags and kill all the Templars and all that BS. Just running around, forget it. Do it sometime. You got any, Corey?
I have one. It's not really grindy per se, but it is skill based, and that's in Destiny.
Oh yeah. Well, the
Remember
whole
that
game
game?
is a grind.
That it is.
So yeah, I have. It's not that I couldn't do it, but I can't do it myself. You know, so from the base game, I just need to fully upgrade a Hunter and Warlock class, which I have those characters, but there's no. I was done playing by the time I made them. And then Flawless Raider, and that's completing a raid without anyone dying in your fire team. So yeah, you could do that solo if you were really good, but that's near impossible. I think there was some kind of glitch where it was fairly easy with the second raid, but I never got into it until after the major expansion that added the second to last raid, whatever that is. And then there's a couple in the latest expansion that I didn't just get to because I was already out of it at that point. For perspective, a TA says I've put in over 630 hours.
You just
Destiny,
needed
so,
me on your fire team, Corey. We would have totally done it in one try.
maybe. Well, if you ever want to go back,
Elle was
maybe
really
I'll
good
load
with
her
getting
up.
past the Gorgons.
All right, man. So, moving on.
I was good at loading the game up.
That game belongs in the trash. Next.
Next question.
And next question comes from Lord Chibello. He asks, how do you guys deal with gaming ruts? Elle?
Well, if you play Destiny, you're definitely going to get in a gaming rut. But I digress. Now, to be honest, I know that some people get sick of gaming, but I generally don't. I think about it. My problem is staying focused on the same game, especially with all these competitions we have. the UHH, the RTDL, GTASC, and any other thing with an abbreviation to keep me focused on what I'm going to play next. But I enjoy playing on a daily basis.
Corey, you ever get into ruts?
Yeah, when I was thinking about this question, only one time in the past, I don't know, 5 to 8 years popped in mind that I remembered, and that was right before the Xbox One came out, or right when it came out. I wasn't a day one adopter, and previously on the 360, that career ended with a very long stretch of Borderlands 2, everyone's favorite
Good game.
I played that lots and lots with various people and modded the game and had fun with it, but for some reason I just got out of it and I fell into this little rut where I don't even think I played anything for like half a year, and then right before my daughter was born, which was right before my birthday, got myself a present and got an Xbox One Titanfall bundle, and I haven't been in a rut.
Didn't you name your
since,
daughter
so-
Tiny Tina?
Yeah. Close.
No?
Close.
Oh, okay.
Tiny Tammy.
So, some listeners of the show, Prue and Matriarch and Fufu Cuddly Poof and Big L, would like to know if you have any modded weapons for us in Borderlands 2.
I actually might have some too,
I do.
even though I
I
hate
do.
that game.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Well,
only have him for
what
the
about-
one version.
What about your rut there, Fufu? Did you get any ruts?
I kind of do. I kind of am actually in one right now. A lot of people might be hearing that and thinking, "Oh, how are you in a rut? You have 10,000 games to play thanks to Elroy OMG. He buys every game under the sun."
Was hitting
Go get
100,000
some
was
sun.
just such a burnout to hit that 100K? You just didn't know what to do anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot. Just kind of got tired of it. Nah. My biggest problem right now, it's not as much of I'm in a rut. It's more or less just the fact of with everything going on in life, I'm not either in front of my Xbox a lot, so I just don't have the time, or when I do have the time, I'm too sleepy to deal with it. Personally,
So he just records a podcast talking about it instead.
Exactly. My biggest thing, I think, or my best advice to try to get out of a rut is to use the F word. Fun. Get your mind out of the gutter. Try to play something fun. Do a game that you enjoy. There's lots of games out there that kind of have some grindy achievements. You might be able to work on something like that. Like if you, personally, Master Chief Collection, even though there's a ton of achievements in that. If that's something you enjoy playing Halo, you can always do something in that, and it always works towards getting some sort of achievement, whether it's getting 20,000 medals or whatever. That's my advice.
Well, you don't have to stick towards achievements. I mean,
Yeah,
you
you
can
don't play
for
for
fun
achievements,
without
but who would do that?
that end goal. I don't know. Somebody just needs to stew on that one.
I don't get into gaming ruts. I get into people ruts. Does it make sense?
Sorry.
No,
jeez.
Titanfall really kind of burned me out on people, and I didn't really want to talk to anybody for a while. I mean, I really didn't want to. I got in a gaming rut at 500K. I didn't really want to play anything. I kind of was debating stopping because a lot of people retire from achievements, which is a bunch of bullshit. You don't retire from whatever. You still play games. But
Got
no,
tired
I
at
just
500K, and meanwhile he has 300K more.
Yeah, exactly. So I realize that it's my escape, especially with a lot of my personal stuff going on. I need an escape, so
Yes.
I continue to just keep on going. And like I said, my ruts are people. So if work is involved, that's my rut, and I go gaming to get away from it.
We had to bribe him to get on the show tonight.
Yeah, a little bit. But I love everybody that's listening, so it's okay.
They told them
He
I
has to
wasn't going
say
to be
that.
on, so but they lied. So speaking of Halo Master Chief Collection, did any of you guys download a 73 gig update to that marvelous game?
No, because the game is not in my system.
Of course I did.
You're the one who doesn't have it, Ryan. I think the other two did.
Well, I had it, but I needed space on my hard drive, so I deleted it because me downloading that patch would take like a month. So.
Well, luckily for you, with the new update, you can
Ooh.
download pieces.
Yes.
Do
Oh,
tell
yeah,
for
CC.
slow internet people like me.
Well, with the new update, what Rawker said is kind of true. Unfortunately, you have to download everything first, and then you can uninstall things.
What?
Yeah,
That's backward.
I
however
don't know
it
about that.
works-
I think at 3 gigs downloaded, it says ready to start, and then you can choose from there. I don't think you're right about that, but it's worth looking into.
I could be wrong on that.
No,
But essentially,
what did they add? If you want to get into it, I'm sorry.
Well, what the big things that they added is, one, visual enhancements for all games, including ODST for the X. So if you have an Xbox One X, the game is going to look really, really pretty for you. And if you've played the Halo 2 Anniversary Edition, it looks fantastic. I don't have an X, so I don't know what it looks like. But on, the OG one, it looks fantastic. I can only imagine what it looks like on the X, and now it has more visual enhancements. So that would be great. And as far as what else they added, one of the nice things that they added is offline LAN support. So now you don't have to be online when trying to play, old school style, with multiple TVs in the same house. Added, and then they did a bunch of optimizations. Everything should be loading faster. They're changing the playlists around. If you have any progress in the ranked playlist, that's going to wind up getting restarted come September 1st. Which September 1st is also when it gets added to Game Pass, so you'll be able to download it again, Ryan.
That's
Sweet.
a big ad.
Yeah, that is actually a really huge ad.
And actually, I have the disc of that game, so that'll be really nice.
Same.
And the biggest problem at launch was connectivity. Do you think that'll be better?
I mean, it can't get any worse.
Finding matchups and even
Yeah, that's pretty
co-op
true.
campaigns, sometimes you got dropped every now and again.
I got dropped after every mission or
Yep.
playlist we did. It was terrible. Yep. Hopefully, maybe Fufu, maybe they fixed the audio log achievement in ODST.
that'd be
We don't have to do it all again. Gosh.
Yeah, they say it should actually be all the playlists and the matchmaking and whatnot. It should all be running much better from now on. Like I said, I can't run much worse. It was always connectivity problems or just running slow. Loading times should be faster.
Any achievement related stuff?
There isn't new achievements, unfortunately. I would have loved for there to have been more achievements. It's at 600 now.
It's not enough?
No, it's not enough. It's Halo. There's never enough. At least for the first 3. Maybe 4 and 5. Who cares? But for
Like
the first
Jell-O?
3, I would love more.
This reference is going to be before your time, but it's like Jell-O. There's always room for more.
But the nice part about Halo with the new update is that they're now going to, when you go into matchmaking, they're now going to match teams based on the number of people in the squad. So, for example, a team of 4 will be more likely to match up against a team of 4 instead of a team of 4 matching up with 2 teams of 2, which could really help with when boosting with friends. You will probably have a higher likelihood of finding your boosting group.
I believe I heard they added regions too, right? That might be helpful for boosting too.
Yes.
Asia
Okay.
South, that's us. Or is that Australia West? Oh wait, that was Titanfall. Sorry.
Australia.
Continue.
Yes.
A certain Australian mentioned that they took out the lasso checkpoints, so good luck getting that on your own, everybody.
Yes.
You can do it. You can do it, Kenneth. I have
Well.
faith in you.
Prue and I will at least do Halo 1 and 2. You going to join us for 3 and 4, Rawker? Legendary
What's
All
Lasso?
Skulls on.
Yeah, sure. You can
All the
join me.
skulls on, which means if one person dies, You start off at the checkpoint. Oh, but get this, you can't even see your gun or radar or anything. It's pretty impossible.
That
So,
seems smart.
Good luck.
I actually have never attempted a lasso yet. I was just gonna let them be the last.
Yeah.
And like we were alluding to before with the uninstall and install portions, they have set it up to where you can uninstall campaigns or uninstall multiplayer so the game runs better and you don't, have that much more on your hard drive. So for instance, if you just don't want to play Halo 2 at all, you can just completely take that out, or you can take out, Halo 3's campaign, leaving the multiplayer, keeping Halo 1's multiplayer, take out that campaign. You can customize it to how you want to play.
So does the update make the whole game about a 200 gig game then?
No, it's basically
A little bit of the 100.
Yeah. One tip I did see on Facebook, if for instance your hard drive is full and you don't have enough room to download the update, delete the game from your hard drive and then try and install it, and it'll automatically install the game for you along with the update, so you're not trying to install all this stuff and then it gets erased later.
Seems smart.
Very smart. The September games with
Go!
all right. The first one I'll mention is Prison Architect on the X1, which was also on the Xbox 360 as a download-only game. They considered it a retail on the 360, even though it was a download. Live Lock is another Xbox One game. I played that a little bit with Freem. It seems meh. Yeah. Lego Star Wars 3,
okay.
Xbox 360 game.
Meh.
Not one of the better of the Lego games. And then Sega Classics Monster World, another 360 game, which I actually just finally got an achievement in that last week. That game is very meh. Meh.
It has 3 air quotes classic.
Yeah, 3
Monster
classic
World
games.
They're very, very, very Japanese.
Very.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
Is a Sega Classic Monster World like a precursor to Monster Hunter?
No.
Okay.
It's kind of like Alex Kidd games, almost, if you remember those. And a couple of them are Sega Master System games. So
achievement-wise, I believe since it's one of those Sega titles, you can save state at any time.
Correct.
So they are doable. So.
Yeah, correct.
And I've heard, I have not played that Lego Star Wars 3, but I've heard it's not that good at all. It makes Star Wars and Lego games not fun.
Yeah. Prison Architect is interesting. It's kind of a 2D cartoonish game, kind of like a prison management game. So I played it a little bit on the 360 version. It's not bad, but you got to be into management games.
Can you choose whether or not to drop the soap?
No, but you do get to create like the electric chair and stuff like that.
Really?
Yes.
So it's basically Prison Tycoon.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, you actually have to you have like the executioners and all that stuff in it too.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I'm gonna have to try that.
Criminal Tycoon.
All right. And like I mentioned earlier on in the show about the TA contest, we're going to be talking about the big contest going on right now. The did someone not fill out the sheet for this? It just says game's good for Oh, that's UHH. Never mind. The ultimate head-to-head contest.
You might want to start that over, big guy.
That was a terrible joke.
Okay. It was supposed to be bad.
Yeah, that was really bad. Yeah, that's what I thought about the UHH this year is I'm out.
Yeah.
But Elle, would you like to talk about this? I know you're hyped for this.
Yeah, I love me some UHH. Also helps when my opponent is not doing so great. But actually, as it stands, I am up 6-5. We have both gotten the achievements in Saints Row the Third and Split Second, and there are 2 similar achievements in Super Meat Boy and Explosion Man that you could both do in the beginning of the game. And of course, those have the higher ratios at like 1.6, 1.7. When you have something in Bioshock with like a 1.3, that's going to take hours. So you got to look at the list and see what you're able to get to in a week.
Now, for those who may not know what this contest is, why don't you go ahead and give it a rundown on what exactly this all entails?
Okay, well, it's a head-to-head competition, and you have 20 achievements, the same achievements as your opponent. So it's a race to 20. Whoever wins the week gets the win, and I believe you get 5 points. And there's 4 weeks of that. And then the top 256 move on to the knockout round.
Would that be the final ultimate head-to-head?
I told you not to drop the
And you
soap.
made fun of mine.
So, and then the winner gets like 2 weeks of TA Pro and like maybe some TA underwear or something like that. So I'm not quite sure.
I wonder if they have a TA thong.
Ooh, sign me up.
I
So
totally
actually,
rock that.
I've been spending the last hour going for one in arcade game series Pac-Man called Picky Eater, which is to beat 3 stages in a row without dying and without eating a ghost. And there is a way to cheat it a little bit. You can save and quit and delete the local save. So if you mess up, you could just reload the cloud save. And it takes a little work. I actually had to go offline when I did it because doing it the other way wouldn't work for me. So you have to delete the local save, go offline, and then if you die, you have to go back online, reload the cloud save, and then go offline again. But it works. So as it stands, it's 6-5. Big Al.
Woo.
Oh, by the way, my opponent is very original name, if I could find it. The Dude 722. So good luck, The Dude 722.
As opposed to the
your
dude
opponent's not a
721 or the Rawker 721.
That was taken. Yeah. Who else is in
Ma-
UHH?
Mango, you in UHH?
No, I've done
What's that?
UHH in the past. What's the term for somebody who doesn't really try in UHH?
A pudding?
Is it pudding?
Foof.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'll be getting the ones off my pudding snacks. No, I kind of gave up on it. It doesn't fit my gaming style. I love seeing the random achievements that I get, and I can't do it. So, no UHH for me this year.
Corey, did you sign up?
I did. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. My opponent is Moonraker B. I don't know what he did to Moonraker A, but he means business. Except in UHH. He only has 4 unlocked. Still time. Well, we got 3 days as of right now. He has 4.
Nice.
I have 12. I don't think I'm going to be going for any more. Maybe 1 or 2. Well, we'll see. I got most of the easy ones and a couple long ones. The one I'm probably the most proud on, even though it wasn't that difficult, was I got to revisit Cuphead, and I had to defeat every boss on the second island. So that was fun to go back to. I also had to go back to Pac-Man Arcade, but I just had to eat the bell. Nothing too hard about that, especially with the level select. Rise, had to defeat 100 enemies in multiplayer, which, funnily enough, you can do that solo. So that was pretty fun. Really liked that game. That was a good game. And then a couple Need for Speeds that were fairly easy, getting to rank 5 and winning an event. And then some random other games, first chapter of Doom and some War Bonds in Battlefield 1. So I think I'm done, but 12-4 seems like a pretty good lead. I'm watching them though, just in case I need to pull something near the end.
Nice. And you getting 12 actually reminds me of something. When it comes to the UHH, if you're in the contest and you care about the TA badges, there is a badge this year that if you get at least 10 in a single week, you unlock it. if that's something you care about. Just something to kind of keep in mind.
Badges.
We don't need no stinking badges.
There it is. I'm waiting for. Oh, my turn.
We don't need no stinking badges.
Oh my gosh.
That was a very uncomfortable pause before I even said anything. I think the other two guys were sitting there, what? I don't get it. Come on.
You would be
I'm guessing
right.
it's a Super Troopers reference.
No.
Yeah, totally.
No. UHH. Actually, no, was it UHF with Weird Al? Yeah, UHF.
Well, it's from
It's definitely in UHF.
it. Yeah, it's from what's that movie? I'm gonna Google it. No, it's
Yeah, the
like
one with Bill Cosby.
The one with Bill
from
Cosby.
something from like the 30s or like on the waterfront. What's it called?
Bridge over
Oh,
the
yes.
River Qua.
Yeah.
Anyways.
It's from the 1948 movie The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Yeah, it definitely is in UHF, which is a better movie.
Because it's in color.
Yes, definitely.
Weird Al's hair in that movie is amazing.
Yes, totally. All right, so we've totally digressed into UHF about the UHH.
Oh, my favorite part in that movie is when the blind guy's doing the Rubik's Cube. And he says, is this it? No. Is this it? No. Is this it? Oh, okay, I know what I'm watching tonight.
I
So-
don't even remember where we were at.
So in the UHH, are the guys of you that are playing it, L, Corey,
It's a
Foof.
sequel to UHF.
Yeah.
UHH.
UHH. Are you guys just planning on actually trying to stick with it, the harder competition parts, or are you just doing the just for fun stuff?
Whether I'm winning or losing, I plan to keep going for everything that shows up on my list. You have 7 days to do it, and then you get a new list, and it's go time again.
Okay. I'm just curious, because
Yeah, I'm semi serious.
The best part about it is getting you to play those games that you might have picked up in a while.
yeah,
I
well,
actually
we know,
play-
we,
I
we know
forgot to
Kenny's
mention-
not going to try.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that I played Viva Pinata for many hours straight to get the one I needed. It's very hard to tell how long those Viva Pinata achievements are going to take, but I needed to reach level 16 and hire a watchling, and I was at level 12 or so. I said, oh, that won't take too long. Wrong. But then I kind of remembered what to do and how to feed the pinatas stuff.
Sell the worms.
Yes, you have to make them mate and sell them and make variants of them, and that gives you a lot of experience, mating and variants. So that was my big tip.
Yeah, if anything, that's the hard part about UHH is remembering
Absolutely.
the controls to all these games that you probably haven't played in forever.
Remembering where you're at, remembering controls, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I love UHH. Thank you, TA, for hosting.
Yeah, I really hope I get matched up with somebody that is in the community or that will join the community. I'm kind of reaching out to my opponents to to invite them in to see if if they want to hang out. But maybe I can get matched up with Chindoc to take
be
him
the
down.
unsuspecting player that knocks him out right away.
Good luck with that. You actually
That'd
work
be-
for a
that'd
living,
be
so I
fun.
think he would take you down.
I also sleep.
Well, he works. He has to avoid all the animals that try to kill humans down there.
It's a full-time job in and of itself. All right. And with that, we'll get to our gaming section. All right, and that'll about do it for our part of the show. If you want to contact any of us, you can find us on Twitter, TA, Discord, all the usual places. Be sure to join our Discord. We have a ton of great conversations going on over there. Discord link should be in the show notes, and it's also discord.io/AH101. If you want your milestones read on air, send us a friend request on TA or let us know through any of the normal sites, and we'll be sure to mention them. And if you have a question or a topic that you would like us to discuss, message or tweet us. Our Twitter account is @achievements101, And along with that, we also have a community feedback Google Doc, which can be found in our Discord. Let us know what you think. Give us our feedback and whatnot. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week. See you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Later.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
A very sequential segment with Matriarch and Elroy OMJ.
For the second straight week, you have spoke. For the second straight week, we have listened. User-submitted lists are all the rage right now, and we wanted to capitalize on that movement and bring our amazing listeners their second submitted list, courtesy of Carpe Adam, Sees the Fish, who suggested the topic of top 5 locations for a skateboarding game level. Not a skate park. He was very specific on that. So, we took said idea, punched it into our state-of-the-art sequential segment list generator, and it came out gnarly. Now, there wasn't anything wrong with the machine. It wasn't all beaten to hell and gnarled, but rather, it was beyond awesome. It was, as the cool kids say, gnarly. So, bust out the grip tape and kickflip your feet up as we take a few non-skating games and their achievement lists and give them a makeover as we produce the top 5 games that would make a gnarly skate parks list. But first, some pleasantries. She has never played a skateboarding game for achievements, but she is known for always keeping it real. She is ranked 14,037th in Gamerscore for real-time games in America. She is Matriarch.
That's the best I could do? 14,037th at something?
You had 0 points in skateboarding games.
Oops. It shows you how prepared I'm going to be for the list today. But thank you, as always, for the introduction. It is such a pleasure to introduce my co-host. He isn't imaginary. He is real. And he himself is the 880th ranked individual in Gamerscore for real-time games in America.
Thank you. I always try to keep it hundo.
No, Elroy.
What?
Elroy.
What?
Shh. You're only a lackluster 12,209th. We are joined by a real-time gamer. He has 600,000 gamer score and loves those ACA games as much as you do, Elroy. He is Exe the Hero.
Hey, so I didn't even know real-time was a genre, and I am shocked to find out that I'm ranked that high, so I feel like that's God tier or something up at 880. I'm gonna rock it. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for having me on the show. Been listening since the beginning, slowly catching up. For those of you who don't know me, I am English teacher by day, literature coach by afternoon. I play some horrible video games by night, and in my non-existent free time, I'm a secret rock star. And speaking of free time, the man with way too much of it, Elroy, what's next?
Man, you're like my spirit animal. Well, it depends. Em, do we have any listener feedback?
You know, Elroy, our feedback actually has generally been really great. Facial LaFleur even commented that what we do is gloriously weird. And if you're going to be called something, why not gloriously weird? I have, however, heard a word or two here, a little mumbling there, that maybe we should try diving right into the meat and potatoes. And as we have a most excellent guest with us today. I spent the last 2 months working with Elroy. It's begun to become
rubbing off on you.
Yep. But as this is the case, maybe we should just go ahead and jump right in with this week's honorable mention. So do we want to give that a go this week?
What? I mean, 20. You don't want to do 20 minutes of user feedback?
I mean, I love doing 20 minutes of user feedback, but you guys are both teachers, and I hear that's an exhausting profession. You might want to get sleep at some point, So we're just going to give this a go. Are you ready?
Right. Let's do it, Em.
Off we go.
All right. Honorable mention time.
Honorable mention.
All right. For this week's list, I'm going to pull a couple games that I wound up playing for True Achievement's Ultimate Head-to-Head competition, or sometimes also called UHH. Now, I hope I hear that every time I say UHH, because it's going to be a very interesting piece of editing work.
And I'm okay. I'm not like croaking over here. I know I'm quite aged. Just had my birthday and all. And
right, happy birthday! I forgot to mention that milestone. Happy birthday,
Thank you.
Elroy.
Are you old
Appreciate
or
it.
very old?
I am very old, and I am the oldest I've ever been. And I don't like it.
What's not to like? Come on now.
Wait, what? The other 20 minutes?
Oh,
Yeah,
right. We're getting off track again. So, if you're not aware of UHH, it's a competition that matches you up with another gamer on Twitch.
Sorry, a little late there.
This
Delayed
matches you
reactions.
up-
That's part of that's part of the gig when you get as old as I am. Sorry.
Oh, okay. This is the problem with time. Trying again.
And you don't listen. That's another problem. See, I'm not listening to work. I'm just...
Gonna break into one of my monologues any minute.
Oh, go ahead.
In this competition, you get matched up with another gamer. You each get 20 games on your list, and then you basically race to the finish line. First to 20 wins. If nobody makes it to 20, it's the most achievements unlocked. If you both have the same amount, it's ratios. I didn't really check everything, but that's kind of how it works. So
Is it actually 20 different games? You can't get 2 achievements in one game?
You can get the same game, but the algorithm tries to avoid that.
Oh, okay.
So
I was just curious.
Yeah, it's a good question. And they've really refined it over the years and so on and so forth. So for this week, my draw had, almost half of my games were games I played forever ago. Games like Rage, that I never intend to go back to. And the other half were games that I hadn't even played yet. So I decided for this week's list that I'm going to marry the two things I'm dealing with right now, which is UHH.
Wait, who's in trouble?
It's always me. It's always me.
Oh.
It's a New York City thing. No matter where I am, there's always going to be sirens.
Oh.
But anyways, I decided to pick one game from each part. The games I hadn't really played yet and the games that I've played. So now you'll know where I'm drawing from. And this week's honorable mention spot is going to Mirror's Edge. Now, have either of you played Mirror's Edge?
I am actually a huge fan of Mirror's Edge.
Oh, awesome. I never get that response from Elroy. It's so refreshing to have you here, X.
Wait. I thought you played terrible games. Is this a terrible game?
The sequel was.
I have not played the sequel. But Mirror's Edge, for those of you unfamiliar, is a game that is mostly about parkour. Or Parker? I don't know.
Parkour.
But it's parkour. It's essentially the art of navigating mostly urban environments by running, jumping, and climbing. And the game's protagonist, Faith, is a runner, and she uses parkour to navigate the cityscape so she can deliver messages and handle other business. Now, how much more cool, or perhaps infuriating, depending, would this be if you had a skateboard? Right? Instead of running on your feet, you're going to kick around with some wheels. Instead of just leaping over short obstructions, you kickflip over them. If you need to grind along a building, why scuff up your fancy white pants? Just put your wheels beneath you, let gravity do the rest. Of course, bonus points will be awarded for landing a trick successfully. Conversely, if you don't land the trick, it'll slow you down, just as happens in the game currently. But what about the achievements? Of course, right off the top, we'd have to replace the achievements for collecting bags with collecting, what do you think? What would you collect in a game about skateboarding?
Tony Hawk figures.
Very good guess.
That's good.
You have one, Elroy?
Good answer. This is like Family Feud.
But it's not on the board. No, the answer is boards. Boards, you see, led you into that. So instead of grabbing those bags, once again, you'd grab boards. You'd get board lady instead of bag lady, which is what you get for collecting your first 3. Or instead of ran out of fingers for collecting 11 bags, you'd get ran out of wheels for collecting them. Or, and finally, we can just keep the name Pack Rat for all the collectibles, because it makes sense. Mirror's Edge also has a series of achievements for stringing parkour moves together that could easily be reimagining for completing a series of moves on your board. The most interesting, I think, achievement reimagining would be that of the Test of Faith achievement. Are you familiar? Like, this is a skateboarding question. I wasn't familiar with this before this either, but are either of you familiar with the Leap of Faith?
Assassin's
and what that
Creed?
is?
That
That was my thought, too.
I was thinking of Indiana Jones and that Last Crusade when they like throw some gravel down on an imaginary bridge. Spoiler alert, it sticks. And he just walks across the abyss. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've actually totally
choices,
never
both.
seen that movie. Thank you for that.
Oh, boy. Oh,
Yep.
boy.
You got
It's
him.
been spoiled. Now you don't have to watch it, though. You just saved all that time. You can go to bed early tonight.
Ooh.
But Leap of Faith, actually, in my research, it's a trick, a skateboarding trick that was attempted by Jamie Thomas at the Point Loma High School in San Diego. And according to the world's foremost site on skateboarding things, Wikipedia. The leap of faith was an ollie melon, which I'm not sure what that is, but it was an ollie melon over a handrail down a 18-foot 8-inch drop, which sounds pretty insane. It wasn't completed
oddly
successfully.
Specific.
Yeah, it is. But it wasn't completed.
Was the 9-inch, like 18-foot 9-inch, was that just too much? And it's like, oh.
It's just the way the high school was built. So it wasn't built specifically for that. And I guess now there was like an elevator built there, so nobody can attempt this jump anymore. And apparently several people have and have broken arms and legs. Jamie Thomas just broke his board, but he didn't successfully complete the jump. So in Mirror's Edge, Skateboarding Edition, you can now go for Test of Faith, which is earned for completing the game. Or now I got all confused in my notes. But you can... in Mirror's Edge Skateboarding Edition, Test of Faith, which is the achievement from Mirror's Edge. This is you earn it for not shooting an enemy, and it would instead be earned by landing this trick. So you see, the bad guys would be so awed by your ability to do this without shattering every bone in your feet and ankles that they would just put their firearms away and simply applaud you as you pass.
The ultimate
and for
test.
that reason, because I stumbled over my words, we're leaving this at honorable mention and moving on.
Yeah, I would say they might give you like the bro fist and like blow it up. You're like, like a
right, exactly. They would be your friends, and they'd just admire you instead of trying to shoot at you.
Yeah. Okay. I see it. I see what they did there with the achievement names. You said her name is Faith, right?
Right.
So,
exactly.
So yeah, that's pretty clever.
I actually never got that.
Really?
Yeah, that's. I mean, I got the achievement, but I never got the leap of faith. Her name's Faith. That.
Oh.
Mind blown right here.
Mind blown.
All right, you learned something today. So why don't you do some learning for us? We're gonna give you your first opportunity to provide a very sequential segment entry. So what do you have for us, X?
All right, let's do this, Leroy. Anyway, sorry. I had to. All right, number 5, Minecraft. We love it. We hate it. We stack it. You do what you got to do, right? I don't think Minecraft needs any kind of introduction. I think we all know what that is. So I'll get right into it. You figure Minecraft. It totes itself as the game. You can make your own world. You can use your imagination. You can make anything you want. So why not make the ultimate skateboard park tycoon game? And again, that's not a skate park. That's a giant skate level. Meets the criteria. Sue me. So you want to build this giant super city with twists and turns and get your technical writing skills in? More power to you. I can barely make a sand castle, but whatever. You want to make an 800-foot ramp and launch yourself straight into the nether? You can do that too. Why not? Nether sounds pretty cool on a skateboard. I don't know, dodge some gassed fireballs. If you want to be, go for your inner tour guide, unleash that, and then set up a rail and do a nice tour of seed -1684578, whatever, I don't know. You get the idea, right? So for the achievements, I'm also calling this Minecraft Skateboard Edition, which I thought was original and is totally not original.
We're both just very clever people.
All right, let's look at it that way.
In
Clever,
exactly the same way.
not unoriginal. All right, so achievements, Minecraft Skateboard Edition. If you think about it, a lot of the game's achievements in the actual game are for just doing things that exist in the game. So instead of the ultra lame kill the wither, anyone can kill the wither. You drink milk and you hack it with a sword. We're going to make it take a race with the wither, and when you beat him on your skateboard, he's going to just explode out of sadness. And then you pop your achievement. But if you're feeling extra ambitious, you can get the awesome, super rare, it'll have the diamond and the poppy sound, Shred the Wither achievement. And you have to jump off a ramp, and you have to do an ollie, I believe, is the skateboard jump term. Total athlete over here. Ollie off his head, and then land some sweet kickflip over his tail, and then he just falls over dead.
Oh, man. Can we call it, instead of kill the wither, can they go by posers? Like kill the poser, shred the poser? I mean, that's some skateboarding terminology 101.
I mean, obviously the wither is the huge poser because he doesn't have the skateboard, so he's trying to fit in, and he's just not going to get it.
Definitely the poser.
Nice.
So you just got to kickflip him.
And then at the end, you depose or...
Oh, goodness.
Show him who's boss is the short version here. Anyway, you might be thinking, Wither, that was like 5 updates ago. That's not hardcore at all. So screw the Wither. Now you got the Ender Dragon, right? What do we do in Skateboard Edition? You don't kill the Ender Dragon. You grind down his whole back. So you got to launch yourself into the air off a slime block, and then you have to line your skateboard up perfectly with his back, his spine, and you do a sweet grind all the way down it. And then once you get off his tail, he just looks at you like, bro, that's cool.
Bro.
And then he just falls over dead too, because that's what bosses do in Minecraft Skateboard Edition. Once you've killed all the bosses, though, and there's nothing left for you to do, you just explore the countryside. So we all know the annoying, tedious achievement for ride a minecart 500 blocks in one direction. Just set up a rail and you grind that sucker 500 blocks in one direction, and bam, you get a sick combo and a nice view.
Man, I want to play
awesome.
this game.
It sounds much more interesting than vanilla Minecraft.
Yeah, I would play this.
You had me at bro.
Bro.
You got to put the growl on it. It's not just bro, it's bro.
Yeah. Not to be confused. Not to be confused with
My favorite TA competition, the
All right.
All right. Well, you have a tough act to follow now. I'm glad I went first. What have you got for us, Elroy?
Number 4. Infinity Runner. I mean, that's a game that everybody knows. Let's see. You know what? My friend list is actually starting to increase somewhat, and so I can't help but notice that several people have played this game. Xlax, Chin, Professor Pluto, Irish Warrior, Buck Marley, Wall Runner Ninja, Mark B, Cowboy Killer 360, Kush Moose, and, of course, Exe the Hero. You've played this game, yeah?
I'm going to be honest, I
terrible.
don't remember it, so it can't be anything great, but I have apparently played it.
Oh, man, I'm going to jog your memory. All right, here we go. So, for those of you that have never played this game, I assure you that it is aptly named. So, what could a game entitled Infinity Runners possibly be about? Yeah, X? Any theories?
I mean, obviously, it's about running through time to steal the Infinity Gauntlet from Thanos.
Well, you got it half right. Oh, man. I'm going to have to reference that later. You run. You keep running. You run for what seems like infinity. And you are also in space. Running in space. The stage ends. You start running again. You keep running. You get to the next stage. More running. You run to infinity and beyond. Yeah. You remember last episode when we had a werewolf girl who wasn't a prostitute who kills you in an 8-bit way inside an 8-bit anthology for what may or may not have been 100 points instead of 50 points?
Yeah, I do. I do remember that.
Yep. Well, she may not be back. But guess what? The werewolves, they are back.
What? No way.
Yes. How do you spice up a game that is basically just running in space over and over and over and over? You add in some freaking werewolves, of course.
Of course.
I admittedly skipped approximately 80% of the cutscenes. I think I let them play, but I just was on my phone while they were playing because I think there's an achievement for that. Not being on your phone, but for getting all the cutscenes, you have to see them all or something. So I may be missing something, but I think the whole backstory is as follows. So you are a werewolf, and Evil Corp has kidnapped you and other werewolves for some reason. And I assume it's something to do with universe domination, although I can't say for sure. And so you're trying to escape. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, a couple of things. First of all, your werewolf powers is something that you do not know about. X. Do you know what they call werewolves who do not know they are, in fact, werewolves?
Posers.
No, it's not posers. Unaware wolves.
I really hope that's in the game. That needs to be in the game.
Sidebar. There is an achievement called a werewolf, not unaware wolf, for looking at the power-up screen. So I guess they went that route as well. So yes, there is a werewolf achievement. You may have it. Is this jogging your memory yet?
Yeah, it is actually. It's werewolves in space. I don't know how
great.
I forgot werewolves in space.
That is the question of the night. Now, well, maybe I'll have some more questions here in a second, but you discover that you're a werewolf because you run into a syringe that injects you with all kinds of performance-enhancing bull testosterone, and wham, you turn into a werewolf, and you begin roiding out, and you just start killing everybody. You start busting through walls, and all the things that werewolves do. Sidebar on that, I wouldn't suggest running into syringes. Now, further, when you beat the game, you get an asterisk and you never make it to Cooperstown. But, second of all, instead of being a sleuthy game like Ass Creed or anything like that, You do not hide in the shadows looking for a clever way to get off the ship. Nope. You have some serious-sounding lady like waking you up, and her message is, it's time to run. So, no strategy. You just run balls to the wall. Now, before you start I don't want you to think that I'm just being crass here. Surely you know I'm a Southern gentleman. And such as that, I would never resort to such lowbrow expressions. Even though the phrase balls to the wall, educational portion of the show, meaning an all-out effort, comes from the world of aviation. So on the airplane, the handles controlling the throttle and the fuel mixture are often topped with ball-shaped grips, referred to by the pilots as, of course, balls. Now, pushing the balls forward close to the front wall of the cockpit increases the amount of fuel going into the engines and results in the highest possible speed. No, you see, I haven't. That's part of the reason, but I didn't actually mention one other slight detail about this game. You're naked. Oh. And you are a man.
Right.
And you are running at high speeds. And occasionally you won't turn in time and you will die by running into the wall. Now, I can only assume, using the laws of momentum, that the scrotum of the werewolf man contacts the wall in such event. Thus, balls to the wall works. There you go. Now, much unlike Johnny 5, where it's a foregone conclusion that there's no balls involved, you might be wondering, do werewolves even have balls? Now, fortunately, this question was answered in the 1987 classic, The Monster Squad, as the chubby boy and his friend are exploring a poorly lit room where the wolfman jumps out and starts growling at them, and he has his legs spread for some reason, and that causes the non-chubby boy to tell the chubby boy to kick him in the nards, to which the chubby boy says, the wolfman doesn't have nards, to which the non-chubby boy keeps insisting for the chubby boy to kick him in the nards, to which the chubby boy finally kicks the wolfman in the nards, and the wolfman becomes incapacitated by the chubby boy's kick, causing the chubby boy to exclaim, Wolfman's got nards!
I've heard the word nards more just now than I have in my whole life.
Now, all right, well, that might have been part of the educational portion as well. Now, in refreshing myself with this clip, because I didn't have that memorized by memory, I hadn't seen it in almost 30 years. That's 1987. I was 10 years old. Now, I just found out that they released a documentary about that movie. Any guesses on what that documentary is called?
Nards.
Wolfman's got nards. There you go. So, yeah. So what were we? It seems like we were talking about something. I kind of went down the werewolf path there, but let's see. Oh, something about skateboarding, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Skateboards.
Okay. So what does this game have to do with skateboards? Well, let me tell you how.
Boy, oh boy.
Now, there we go. Now, I am not one to advocate skipping leg day in any way, shape, or form, but I think this game, #games by the way, would benefit from a skateboarding makeover. Put a board under the naked man's feet and add some low rolling wheel sound, and it is almost practically done. I mean, you don't really have to do much to do this makeover. Now, the walls, they don't come down at a 90-degree angle in most of the stages of the game. The space station, I guess, was built with a skateboarding park in mind because it has angled walls at the bottom, so they kind of slope right on up into the wall. And so add in the skateboard, and instead of running balls to the wall, you would run ball bearings up the wall and ride along the side of the sleek walls and keep going on to the next part. Now, the game features a number of obstacles such as glowing ooze that you must avoid. There's other things as well, but enter kick flips and front side grabs as you jump over them. The game also features a large gap of fire that you must grab and hold on to some zip line as you traverse it and take out that zip line. Add some rails on the side to grind on. I know it's no Ender Dragon, but yeah, you have to do. Now, granted, these mechanics would require a lot of blurring out, given that you're naked as a jaybird, but that's a game detail I'm not willing to give up. You gotta stay naked. I mean, that's the gist of the game.
If Conan can do it, Infinity Skater can do it.
That's true, yeah. That is a valid point. Now, you might notice that when you're running on the skate, or actually riding on the skateboard, we don't need any helmet. We don't need any of those pads on the arms. We want to see Wolfman on skateboard, no helmet. I grew up riding my bike over the city, and I didn't have a helmet, and I
That
survived.
explains a lot.
Just saying. No. Oh, man. Millennials. No, I know what you're thinking. So, basically, instead of a werewolf space game, it would be a werewolf skateboarding space game. How does that make it better? 2 words for you. Teen Wolf. Yeah. I just brought that home. So, what would the achievements look like for this new and improved game? They would be easy to adjust. If you look at the list, 8 of the achievements start with the word run in them, including my personal favorite, the achievement called The Proclaimer for running 100,000 meters, whatever those are. America. Now, here's a crazy idea. Change the word run to skate. The achievement called The Running Man becomes The Skating Man. That's too easy. Now, most of the rest of the achievements are collection-based and require no tweaking, since you could, get those just as easily riding commando style on a skateboard as you could by doing a fun run. Now, sidebar. There's also an achievement called Valley Commando in the game for winning some fights that I would assume be changed from throwing fisticuffs, as it is currently set to, as something like, I don't know, impaling them with a pole. Now, yeah, a metal pole that you grab off the wall or something. You gotta get your mind
I
back
was just going to
now.
say, I'm glad you clarified, because you've mentioned the nards a lot, and then you go to poles.
Indeed. Well, all in all, the game would make a seamless and fun transition to a skating game. Sure, the developer would likely have to add some extra twig and berries pixelation while, you perform some tricks, but all in all, the fun to be had on that skateboard will have us all howling at the moon.
Wouldn't you be howling at the Earth, because you're in space?
The moon. Come on, work with me.
All right, I'll work with you.
Because he's naked. And you're... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay.
It's good that we have X here today to keep you straight, to ask you the tough questions. I let a lot go.
Right on.
Speaking of going, I'm going to go on to number 3.
Nice segue.
Number 3.
Yeah. This is what I'm here for. So like I mentioned before, I picked around my UHH. Thank you. Picks for the week.
Sorry.
At least one of you is on top of things.
Yeah.
You needed a break.
That's that
after
reaction
that.
time. You see the reaction time between a millennial and a Gen Xer. That was just tragedy.
Yep. But so I had picked a game that I had played before in the long time ago, and a game that I just started. And as it turns out, these games also had another very big distinction. One was presented in 3D, Mirror's Edge, and the other one's presented in a 2D environment. And this actually works out, because when we're talking about skateboarding games, they've existed in both 2 and 3D. There's been Tony Hawk, if you've played those in the 3D sphere, and then games like 720, which I know X was not born yet, probably, when that was in some of people's homes, but it was a thing. And I know that Tony Hawk also has lost its way at some point. I am not going to guess which one it was, because I don't want any feedback on that, because I honestly don't know the answer. But feel free to tell us in Discord so that I know for the next time I do this. Anyways, one of my aforementioned games, or UHH games, all right, thank you guys, that fit the mold of this week's top 5. When I was considering it, I thought The Bridge would actually be perfect. Now, have either of you played The Bridge?
I have stacked it twice, in fact.
No.
Nacho played it.
All right. How's Nacho doing, by the way?
Well, he's recovering. His girlfriend ran into a mailbox, and while he was looking down at the glove box and slammed his head into the dash, and he had to go to the hospital, concussion, and all that good stuff. So,
man.
Yeah.
The Bridge is not a good game to play while one is concussed. Now, if you're not familiar with The Bridge, are you familiar at all with MC Escher?
MC Escher.
The guy who painted stairs and other stairs, and it sort of looks like an infinite loop. They're usually black and white. So if you can envision...
I thought he played at PAX or something.
So the game's aesthetic is pretty much one of these paintings, more or less. It's black and white. There's sort of a lot of infinite loop things going on. And you play a guy who moves through each of the puzzles by rotating the world itself. So right trigger rotates you clockwise, left trigger rotates you counterclockwise. You're able to walk left and right, but that's it. There's no jumping. There's no other interacting with environmental things other than exiting through the door and occasionally collecting a key. Some stages also make you avoid a menace, which is effectively a boulder. So how would this work as a skate park? Or not a skate park, but a skate level, so that we stay on target here.
Well, those menaces, you definitely have balls to the wall.
That's true, and everywhere else. But it's easy. All you have to do is manipulate the world, and now you have to do tricks to open up those doors. So moving counterclockwise and you're about to fall below, we'll start working on your heel flips or your pressure flips or your toe flips while you're on the way down. And then make sure, when you land, to pull off a crooked slide or a dark slide before coming to a full and complete stop in front of the exit.
Man,
Now,
we sound so cool with all this skating terminology.
Almost sounds like you know what you're talking about.
Thank you, Wikipedia. But does this all sound a little too easy to you? Remember, you have to do all this while not falling off the edge of the world, where the game will hit you with some morose rambling about the meaning of life, or in your case, what it means to fail. But you know what would be super, ultra, mega cool about this skate level, were it to be a thing? You can reverse time.
What?
Yeah, that's right. So
that would take all the fun out of it.
It means you can take it back. So you're trying to attempt a 720 and you only land a 360. It's totally cool. Reverse time. Try it again.
What about all the rail nard shots? You know, you like
the nard shots are fun. Are fun for people. Nard
shots
are fun for the people watching on YouTube, but not for the person suffering them. And you are the player. True. So remember.
Okay.
It's going to be worth it for you to rewind, since you're the one on the receiving end of this business.
Or you could just rewind and fast forward like 20 times and be like, no, oh.
Just add in those sound effects. But this is the best part of making it a skate level, right? You're over-rotating the playing field, so you not only miss your trick, but you miss the edge of this stretch of flat earth and go hurtling into the abyss. That's okay. This is great. Life has a reset trigger. Do you misjudge how fast the world is coming at you and shatter your forearm on that questionable landing? That's fine too. Rewind 5 seconds and attempt to convert your failure into a cool superhero landing, or go back 30 seconds that you have time to reconsider all of your life choices. It's up to you. Now, the achievements don't even have to change that much to make this skate game work. For example, there's the Whisper achievement for getting through the library silently. This would instead be
You like that one, right?
I had to pick that one. There's a game with a library in it. But this achievement
staying
wouldn't...
quiet in your library, I mean...
Okay, not in my library.
Oh.
No, we're long past that. Urban libraries. But this achievement would instead be for suffering a fall from a great height and not rewinding, instead silently wallowing in how you're going to get back on your board. The academic achievement can be earned for researching all of those crazy skateboard trick names I had mentioned earlier. And if you really want to go all the way, you can get the Scholar achievement for then successfully performing all of those tricks. And finally, you can earn the Bridge Walker achievement for just leaving your board at home and letting your feet remove you from the skate park for that day.
That sounds boring. Wow. That last one. Not your segment. Oh my gosh. Using your feet in a skateboarding game sounds boring.
That is true, but that's why it's an achievement, because it's just not something you would do, right? Achievements make you play outside of the way you would normally play a game, at least for people like us.
Unfortunately.
That's a fair statement. Yeah.
Well, what have we got next?
All right.
Next
up, number 2. I feel like there's a joke there, but I won't make it. Next up is not any single game, but it is a series, the Assassin's Creed series. It really doesn't matter which one you think about, whether you love or hate the games. I don't think you can deny that Ubisoft has made some really beautiful open worlds, and I think they would be a blast to skate through. They're a blast enough to walk through, so add a skateboard to it, and of course it's gonna be better. Like, who doesn't love shanking someone to death in the middle of a busy street and then running and hiding in a hay bale, while 20 guards chase them? I'm not even talking about Assassin's Creed at this point, but you can do that in the game too. But imagine, it would just be a nice, relaxing experience if you just hopped on a skateboard through Renaissance Italy, or rode down the side of the Great Pyramids of ancient Egypt, and I think Giza. I should know that, I'm a teacher, but whatever. Just, it would be surreal. Ride your skateboard through the world and not worry about really anything.
Are they going to pave these roads? Because most of the ones I saw were those bricks, and those gaps between the bricks looked awful. Sizable.
So you have the issue with the gaps in Renaissance Italy, but not the issue with the square blocks in Minecraft?
Yes.
Okay.
This is what difficulty modifiers are for.
All right. I mean, we could go hardcore and getting ahead of myself, but you could make an achievement for survive the storm, and you have to skate with, sand in your wheels or something like that. Ooh.
Well, I'm just saying, Infinity Runners, it was a smooth surface, and it's a really good skate park. I'm just saying.
All right, I concede. Back to achievements and not Elroy's shenanigans. Regardless, again, of which Assassin's Creed game you pick, the achievements are pretty much the same. And I feel like Ubisoft, they know this. They are aware that their achievements work really well for a skateboard game. So my theory, since they've announced that they're taking off, the series is not having a new game in 2019, they're actually ramping up.
You've been with us for like a half hour.
Wait for it.
Man.
Okay, they're ramping up the hype
This is
for the
awesome.
2020 release of Assassin's Creed Shred, which is going to star... Wait. It's going to star Shredzio Auditore.
Oh dear.
Oh my
That
God!
was-
What took so
I'm
long to
taking
get you
off
on
my
the
headset.
show?
I'm quitting, guys.
What took you so long to get here? Okay.
Yeah, go back through all the Assassin's Creed games. Think of some of the, most classic achievements. Hang 20 enemies with a rope dart. That's no fun on a skateboard. Plus, we're not murderers, we're skateboarders. So instead of hanging them with the rope dart, why don't we just lasso them with that same rope while we skate by them? Or... You want me to perform 50 double assassinations? More like 50 double kick flips. Come on now. It writes itself, guys. Dive from the top of the highest peak in Egypt into a hay bale? Like, that's not even realistic, but you know what is realistic? Build a half pipe at the bottom, and you will be going so fast that when you launch up the other end of the half pipe, you just put Tony Hawk right to shame and you do an 1800. Forget his wimpy 900. That's nothing. Of course. Assassin's Creed is known for its collectibles, right? Who doesn't love running through the ancient Middle East and collecting feathers? Or what was it in the first one? It was flags. Flags and feathers. Well, that's lame. So what do we collect in Assassin's Creed Shred? You have over 200 sticker decals for your board. They are everywhere.
Nice.
And if you want, a visual flair from the side, you got another 50 sets of wheels in various colors for your viewing and skating pleasure.
Very nice.
Man.
Does the game have a scraping a sticker off of a wall minigame for you to collect them?
Ooh, I like that. There's probably like a tag the Great Pyramids of Egypt with spray paint.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's a little Jet Set Radio feeling here.
I like it.
Man, that's I thought you had me sold on Minecraft, but man, that's a Shredzio. I mean, come on.
I will
amazing.
confidently put $20 down right now. Assassin's Creed 2020. Assassin's Creed Shred. You heard it here first.
All right. Speaking of first,
Oh,
what do we have at number 1?
I'm telling you, she's lethal with those transitions. Now, number 1. Barbie is back. It wasn't enough that she topped our aw list with her perfect match achievement for finding the perfect match for a puppy, but now she is back, and the only perfect match I see is the match betwixt her and her beloved Townsville and a skateboard. But first, it isn't time for pleasantries, even though I am joined by the 14,307th and 880th best real-time gamers in America. It is time, however, to talk about the game a little bit more. Now, after it won the list a few weeks ago, I heard on the podcast Elroy, love that guy, talk about it in such a colorful detail that I wanted to experience it for myself. So I got on eBay, shelled out $17 with shipping, and, I've had the unforgettable experience for myself with a completion in this game. Now, what Elroy didn't talk about, however, was the dark side of Townsville, as well as the lovable ridiculousness of the game. I have news for you. Barbie is a monster. She is a well-intentioned monster, but still a monster. Again, as my Meemaw used to say, the path of hell is paved with good intentions. But the game is such. Barbie, she has informants working all over the city to tell her who has puppies. Barbie then hops on her bike, rides out to that location, and steals the dog. Yep, that's exactly what you do over and over again. Every one of the, air quote, lost puppies had a collar around its neck, and many of the puppies actually had a microchip in them. Did she call them? No. She just acted like the microchip wasn't there and held onto the puppy regardless if it had an owner and passed it through her rigorous rehabilitation training program. that involve many tests that the puppy may or may not need it. Now, when I played through, I, air quote, rescued many puppies from inside a fenced area in someone's backyard, as well as I actually went into someone's garage and took a puppy out of there. Now, let's pretend for a minute that the puppies I, air quote, rescued were not actually the homeowners whom I was intruding on the property. Why does Barbie need to be involved in this at all? I mean, the city is very nice. It's hard to believe that there's no animal control department in this upscale community. I guess I just didn't understand her role. I mean, she doesn't handle other animals. I mean, if they contracted the job to her, you would think that the streets would be running over with loose cats and possums. But no, just puppies. Puppies everywhere. Now, B, if a puppy gets in my yard, I might play with it for a little while. And then I would call the number on the tag of the collar. They're all wearing collars now. Now, if there is no tag, now here's I am a solution kind of guy. Here's a novel idea. Why not just ask your neighbors whose dog that is? This isn't Castaway Paradise. You don't have to be antisocial. I mean, these are cute little puppies. Someone's got to know whose dog that is. Now, they aren't my wife's brother's baby mama's pit bulls from up the hill in the trailer that would kill your polydactyl cats before you could sell them for some good cash. I mean, they are puppies. So why are the members of the Townsville community so scared to death of these puppies that they can't touch them? And why is there so many puppies running around in the streets in the first place? They never come right out and say what the population of the city is, but given that all I saw was about 20, 30 people walking or biking in an elaborate circular path, and given that I stole about 50 to 60 dogs when it was all said and done, that flea achievement's just awful. So, according to my elaborate calculations, that's way too many puppies running hog wild in the streets of Townsville. The wild puppy per capita is just not adding up. So, who are these irresponsible individuals that can't keep their puppies under control? Oh, wait. Maybe I should live in this town. But be damned if Barbie's going to pry Giggle Pig from my grasp. She got out again today.
Oh, no.
I swear. Yeah. You okay, X?
Yep. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought you fell out of your chair. Now, wait. Let's see. All right. So anyway, Barbie, you try to come get Giggle Pig from me. I'll be waiting for you. Now, who is this woman that keeps adopting all these puppies? So at some point you got to get rid of these dogs, and I swear I gave at least 20 to 30 puppies to the same homely looking woman who would show up, and the funny part was she would show up with different colored hair every time. Now, I'm not sure if that was a disguise or something, but at that point I didn't really care. I was just getting these puppies out the door. So what was she doing with all these puppies? Does this game even have a darker side than I originally thought? Is she the one funding this operation? Because the operation is clearly very lucrative. Its business is located in the heart of the downtown area, and it's a pretty nice little area. I would imagine that the property value is pretty good. And also there was I think it was green sports car that was parked in the front driveway of the building, even though I never saw anybody actually using the cars. And for that reason, Townsville would be an epic skating park. Sorry, it took me a little while to get to that.
That was very
point.
roundabout, but very informative.
Very thorough. I feel like I've played the game myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's just walking around or biking around, but the city infrastructure's there. So there's cars parked on the side of the road, but I don't know if they all have dead batteries, or maybe it's like one of those tricks they used in the war where they just had inflatable tanks and made them think that there was cars there, but there's not actually cars there. And but there's cars all over the streets. They're just not being drove. They're just all parked. So so I thought that was a good first start on it. Now, and there's city streets, there's walkways all over the city. The city is very accessible, and they're all really unused. So there's probably no potholes or anything like that because nobody is using these roads, except for there's probably like a indention in the sidewalk where these people keep doing their little circular walks. But you could probably figure that out and kind of stay away from them and whatever. Now, also another bright spot about this location is that there's no cops, and that like the bane of skaters. The cops always shutting them down. But the city streets are clean. I didn't see any blight anywhere, but I never saw any law enforcement either. They never stepped in to prevent things like, dog napping. But anyway, further, there are hills everywhere in the city. Now, they are not they are kind of about the same size hill that my wife's brother's baby mama's trailer is on, and the pit bulls ran down and they killed all the polydactyl cats before my wife's folks could sell them for some good cash. So, they could probably build up some good speed. And also the city is in a circle, so you could theoretically get all the way down the hill, go up the other side, and if you hang right, you'll end up back at the top of the hill again. It's a big loop. So there are a lot of other skateboarding features in the city. You got some stairs, you got some handrails, grind on those. It also features a construction site. It's complete with ramps and open floors that you could make some more jumps off of. So Barbie the dog snatcher pedals around town on a bike, and she puts all her victims, puppies, into a basket that's on the front of the bike. And so I was thinking, get her a fancy board and a backpack, and she could just shove the little puppies right into the backpack, and she'd be ready to go. And as far as achievements go, well, this is an achievement podcast, so there is an achievement for fancy footwork. I mean, that just works in itself, but you get it for finding a puppy using paw prints or something. You follow some paw prints and you get the achievement. But that would be changed to a trick-related description. So, any kind of trick. So, that's right. We got Barbie turning tricks in the good streets of Townsville. Now, fortunately, there are no Oscars around to stop her, and there's another achievement called Tricky Trainer for doing trick training 10 times. So, how about this? Instead of training dogs, I imagine Madame Barbie getting a bunch of her sisters together and showing them how to turn tricks too. Now, a variety of tricks like slappies, grabs, and grinds. Those are all skateboarding tricks for us that are in the know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stay woke. Yeah. Now, ultimately, it comes down to the final achievement of the game. So much fun. Which is what you will have, and what makes Barbie #1 for the second time, because nothing is more fun than traversing the mean streets of Townsville on your board, turning tricks, and trying not to run over loose puppies, and especially all the dog shit zoos.
Nice. All right. Well, congratulations to Barbie and her sister's puppy rescue for being our first 2-time champion.
Man, they earned it.
Yeah. And thank you very much again to Carpe Adam for suggesting this week's top 5, and to X for joining us and providing 2 of our picks for this time around. It was a pleasure doing this with you.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Prepared. All right. As always, you can reach out to us via pretty much any social media platform. Elroy at ElroyOMJ, myself at Matriarch, although on Twitter it's TA_Matriarch, which I suppose I should actually make a point of, since there is a Matriarch, but it's not me. X, would you like to give some social media information? I know you also have a little music. You can certainly plug away a little bit here if you'd like.
And plug I shall. If you guys like, apparently actually, if you like 90s industrial rock, because that's what I sound like without realizing that that's what I sound like, I do have a solo project. I play everything. I write and I record everything. I do all the vocals and blah, blah, blah. It's all me. You get the idea. If you want to...
Smooth McGroove,
but without the epic beard. I lack that. No cats either.
Man.
But yeah, my band, it's called Window of Opportunity. I don't know how I locked that band name in, but...
That's an amazing
whatever.
band name.
Window of Opportunity. You can check me out on SoundCloud, YouTube, and Facebook. I currently have 2 songs up. More on the way very soon. Album I hope to have done by October.
All right. And the songs are awesome. Definitely go check them out.
Thank you.
Big endorsement here.
Yep. I concur. So, thanks, everybody, for listening. We hope that we encouraged everyone to get their old boards out, dust them off, and then promptly sell them on eBay and use the money to buy some Xbox gift cards, because when it comes to skateboarding, that's how we roll. Now, speaking of which, let's roll on to our next episode, so let the countdown begin now.
Initiating yoke, yoke not found, skip to introduction. Hello and welcome to Waka's Quickie of the Week, Pac-Man 256. Following up from console commands for achievements, we jump straight into another rule-bending way of obtaining them, save scumming and achievement counter glitching. Contrary to the current trend of dropping numbering of sequels, the developer Hipster Whale seems to have counted all the earlier Pac-Man iterations and decided that the 256th game in the series deserved a number. This mobile port of an endless maze runner starring Pac-Man is a fun little game for around an hour before the tedium sets in. Unfortunately, the final achievement requires you to play for roughly 15 hours to fully upgrade all the power-ups in the game. It is a good thing the achievement, along with unlocking all power-ups and complete 16 missions, are glitched in your favor. I would recommend you start off playing and enjoying the game until you either had enough or unlocked the 2 skill-based achievements for getting a skill chain of 256 and getting a 16 ghost multiplier. Given the random nature of the game, these might take you a while to unlock, but they are far from difficult. Resist the temptation to upgrade a power-up to level 8. Pick 1 or 2 power-ups you want and get them to level 7. Once you've gotten your enjoyment out of the game and just want it done, there are up to 3 things you want to align. Number 1, get close to completing a mission. Number 2, get close to unlocking the next power-up. Number 3, have a skill at level 7 and 2048 coins, or 2 skills at level 7 and 4096 coins. Getting close to completing a mission and close to the next power-up at the same time can be very tricky, so you might want to settle for just one of them at a time. Once this is done at the end of a run, close the game with the Xbox menu. Load up the game again, turn the achievement tracker on if you like, and upgrade your power-ups to level 8 and then complete your objectives. Your counter will tick up for the related achievements. Now, do not close the game or the progress will get saved. I repeat, do not close the game. Who am I kidding? Telling some of you to not do something makes it certain you will try it. Nevertheless, do not close the game if you want this to work. Now, back out to your Xbox game list or recent games and remove your local save while the game is still running. This will close the game and you can immediately load it up again. It will download your cloud save, which will be the same as the last time you started the game. Rinse and repeat until you've unlocked all the power-ups, fully upgrade all your power-ups, and possibly your 16 missions. Doing it this way will let you complete Pac-Man 256 in an hour or 2 compared to the 15-ish hours it would otherwise take you, netting you 1000 Gamerscore worth around 1400 TA. Now, listen carefully. Do not jump into Leech Lake. Just take my word for it. You don't want to do it. Do not jump into Leech Lake.